Charlie Lawson spent many years appearing intermittently as Jim McDonald on Coronation Street, but it has now been confirmed that the long-standing character will be written out with an off-screen death. Jim first arrived on the cobbles in 1989 as the partner of Rover's return landlady Liz McDonald and the father of Steve and Andy. Over the years, Jim developed a reputation for his dodgy behavior, and many of his departures from the show saw him heading back to prison for one crime or another. His relationship with Liz was turbulent, with the pair marrying twice before finally calling time on their marriage in 2005. Jim was last seen on screen in 2018 when he made a surprise return accompanied by a woman he insisted was his long-lost daughter. One of the couple's earliest and most heartbreaking storylines involved the death of their baby daughter, Katie, who tragically passed away shortly after birth. During Jim's final storyline, he claimed that Katie had survived and that a hospital error had led to them being separated. However, this shocking revelation later proved to be a complete fabrication. The woman, whose real name was Hannah, was actually Jim's lover, and together they had orchestrated the cruel scheme to manipulate Liz into handing over money. Although Jim and Hannah were arrested once their deception was uncovered, they ultimately avoided punishment due to insufficient evidence. Since then, the pair's whereabouts have remained a mystery, though viewers have never forgotten the disturbing plot, which was introduced under the leadership of producer Kate Oates. Fans later voiced their anger online, with one viewer branding the storyline grotesque and accusing the writers of damaging Jim's legacy in a deeply unpleasant way. The fan expressed sympathy for Charlie Lawson, suggesting he must have found it difficult to perform material that undermined his character's history. Another viewer agreed, criticizing the storyline for showing a lack of understanding of Jim's established personality and describing the writing as lazy, weak, and illogical. Others also revisited the 2018 episodes, pointing out how inconsistent the plot felt when compared to Jim's long-standing motivation to keep his family together at all costs. One fan highlighted how Jim's past actions, including moments of violence in the 1990s, were driven by his belief that Liz was threatening their family unit rather than by pure malice. In contrast, the 2018 storyline portrayed him deliberately inflicting emotional pain on Liz, which many felt was completely out of character. Charlie Lawson did not directly reply to the criticism, though he initially reshared some of the comments. Another viewer went even further, labeling the plot the worst storyline Jim had ever been given, arguing that even his infamous bank robbery felt more believable and entertaining by comparison. That fan also complained that the decision not to redeem Jim before killing him off was deeply disappointing. News of the character's fate was later revealed by Radio Times, with an insider suggesting Jim's death would have a major emotional impact on Steve, who has recently found contentment with Cassie Playmember. The source added that Liz will not be returning for the storyline, and it is believed the events will unfold next month. It has also been reported that Charlie Lawson is aware of the decision despite having been absent from the ITV soap for 8 years. Since the announcement, social media has been flooded with reactions, including disbelief from fans who questioned why such an iconic character was being killed off. Others compared the decision unfavorably to the recent death of Les, arguing that removing another long-serving character felt like a slap in the face to loyal viewers. Many fans have insisted that Jim McDonald still had untapped potential, making his off-screen exit all the more frustrating for those who have followed the show for decades. Coronation Street actors tease major upcoming George and Christina plot. Coronation Street favorites Tony Maudsley and Amy Robbins have hinted that a significant new storyline is on the way for George Shuttleworth and Christina Boyd. One that will see George facing legal action. After forming an unexpected romance last year following George's separation from Eileen, the couple's bond has continued to deepen, quickly winning over viewers and establishing them as a well-liked pairing on the cobbles. The actors, who have shared a close friendship off-screen for more than 2 decades, recently took part in a Valentine's-themed photo shoot for Inside Soap. During the feature, they revealed that their characters are about to encounter a serious challenge. According to Tony, George soon finds himself caught up in a legal nightmare. He explains that George receives an inheritance from a widow only for her daughter to accuse him of misusing the money and launching damaging rumors about his character. As George's situation escalates and he is pulled into legal proceedings, Christina refuses to abandon him. Tony confirms that George's troubles ultimately land him in court with Christina firmly standing by his side and fiercely defending him. He adds that Christina's actions during the ordeal serve as a powerful demonstration of her feelings, proving just how committed she is to George. Although their relationship is still relatively new, it appears the couple are settled and looking towards a future together. Tony and Amy have already begun joking about the possibility of a wedding for their characters, and they admit they've come up with plenty of comic ideas. Tony jokes that they've already imagined the big day, suggesting that something would inevitably go wrong, such as a breakdown with the wedding car, forcing Christina to arrive at the ceremony in a hearse. Amy builds on the idea, laughing that the florist might fail to show up, leaving her to grab flowers from the undertakers and walk down the aisle holding a wreath marked with something like Nan. She imagines chaos unfolding, but with the couple ultimately ending the day happily, tipsy, and dancing together. Tony believes the ceremony would strike the perfect balance between humor and warmth, describing it as loud, loving, and full of laughter. He also jokes that Chrissy Shuttleworth sounds exactly like the name of a classic Coronation Street character. For the full exclusive interview and photo shoot with Tony and Amy along with features on other soap couples, readers can pick up Inside Soap's special Valentine's Day edition available from Tuesday, 10th of February. Coronation Street recruits former Ardale star for intense prison plot. A familiar face from Ardale is making a return to the world of soap as Kelly Hollis prepares to appear in Coronation Street more than a decade after leaving the Dales and her role as Ally Spencer. The actor is now swapping villages for cobbles as part of a powerful new storyline. Kelly portrayed Ally on Ardale from 2011 until 2015 before going on to take roles in dramas including Ackley Bridge, Waterloo Road, and Doctors. Following a period away from acting, she is now stepping back into the spotlight with a guest appearance on the ITV soap. Her upcoming scenes form part of a hard-hitting plot focusing on Debbie Webster, who's been sent to prison following the death of Billy Mayhew. Debbie accepted the blame to protect her secret son Carl, who had been drink driving on the night of the Corrie multi-car crash. As Debbie attempts to cope with life behind bars, she comes face-to-face with familiar villain Lewis, while also encountering several new inmates, including the character played by Hollis. Hollis takes on the role of a dominant figure within the women's prison described as a queen bee inmate whose path soon crosses with Debbie's. Lewis, portrayed by Frell Heggerty, is also set to return, becoming an unexpected presence in Debbie's prison life. Due to Debbie's early onset dementia diagnosis, she is assigned a support partner, though the arrangement quickly proves uncomfortable for both women. A show insider revealed that the pairing is far from harmonious, with neither Debbie nor Lou pleased to find themselves forced together. The source added that their tension reflects their vastly different lives on the outside, making any form of friendship a real challenge. The insider also expressed concern that Debbie's condition could worsen while she is incarcerated, especially after she recently suffered another mini-stroke. Coronation Street airs on weekday evenings at 8:30 p.m. on ITV1, with episodes also available to stream on IDVX.